In 1974, I was 36 years old. I had a sideline business as a cartoonist and was working full-time as an urban planner. Among the magazines I was doing work for was the Sierra Club Bulletin. I was doing cartoons on environmental subjects. Yosemite was being threatened by commercial interests. This is back in 1973, I think. This is a pun, in case you don't notice it. The Everglades were being threatened by oil drilling. One day, the editor came to me and said, I need 16 drawings of future possible theoretical recreation vehicles. So I started doing a few and more. And then I just kept drawing and drawing and drawing. So something unusual had happened. I had discovered that I was a latent inventor. It was something that I didn't even know I had a trait for. I'd never invented anything. I'd never even had a hobby of inventing. So I got into this, and for 40 years almost, or approximately, I've been doing these. And I get stuck on a particular theme. Here's mass transit. I keep revisiting the theme over and over. So what I've tapped into is something that relates to this topic, mix it up. Cultures and inventors mix and match to find fresh ideas. Cultures and tribes, when they come together, they share ideas. Even enemies share ideas. There are different kinds of inventions. This is would be called variation. In other words, you have two elements. You have a shirt and ties, and then you just think of variations. These children love these, so I'm glad that. So you could all have worn these today, some variation of these. So this is variation. Another kind of invention is two or more objects combined. So typically, for a variety of obvious reasons, you wouldn't combine a hot tub with a convertible or a gym with a convertible. But you might. This is obvious, a combination invention. Ashtray and a helmet and a fan and a filter. And you would wear this in the office or in public where smoking was prohibited. This is a car that, with handicap or motorcycle controls, theoretically, I realize it's pretty silly, theoretically you could drive in lotus posture. This is where several elements combined create a new element, a new object. This is a house and a pool and drawbridges equals a moat. This is obvious. Now, I've used the word weak thinking here intentionally. I use it as a kind of a tool for generating ideas. Generally, it's not advised, but I use it. This is a weakly thought out bicycle. It's, I can't, not much good about it except as a piece of art. Here's an example I just did last year of where I took the elements of a tennis shoe up in the top left there and just started working with the elements, disregarding the feel or fit of these shoes. I mean, they almost degenerate into something that's not even a shoe. I've done a lot of sleeping bags. This is one of my least practical. Now, this is a theme that was mentioned by another speaker especially. Contrary, upside down, or mirror solutions yield surprises. It's a fact of our culture in this day that concepts that were once believed as true or solid have been reversed. For example, let's say that we're tired of things always going fast. Cars so fast, they make us nervous in some way. We now have slow foods, slow cities, and so I'm thinking, why not have slow cars? Which slow in the sense that you purposely make the aerodynamics very poor. And so you have them for display and just in a city context. There are reasons I'm not a clothing designer. So that slide showed, I don't know how to back up. Anyway, that slide had shown reversals, mirror images. I have a lot of fun working on those. Repeated themes, okay. Now we have airbags. Everyone knows we have airbags. This is the opposite idea, sort of the opposite of where you get a suit on and then you inflate it before you head off. See, everyone likes this idea. People are so fussy about getting a dent in their car, scratch, or get it keyed or whatever. This would change the whole trend and outlook. These are cubicles that are also a chair. Flip over. It depends on the workload in your office. If everyone was fired, you'd have a lot of chairs in the reception room. Even if no one says something's a problem, you can try to solve it. Probably that's something I've done a lot of. I tried to figure out if there's a way to carry and even wear a bicycle. Now, this is a serious problem. Especially at my age. I've walked into coffee shops or greeted friends with my zipper wide open. So this is a special pair of pants with a little alarm built in. On the bottom is shoes. I've tried to think, could it be possible to have a pair of shoes that had two soles and would last twice as long? Would it be possible to have cars that could change shape depending on circumstances? This is an issue that, especially now with the SUVs rising up over the years, rising up literally, and trucks. So I've tried to solve how to see over these large vehicles. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's a little tiny camera up there in that blimp, a helium balloon blimp, and so you release it when you need to. Unique products may be the kernel for new systems and rules. So one thing can change all the rules, and then others follow it, change it, amplify it, but all it takes is one product. In this case, I've changed baseball. All the rules change because now I've combined it with pinball. Here, if you redesigned the taxi with a massive bumper and everyone got in racing seat belts, taxi drivers could do what they like to do already, bump into each other and push and collide at will. I've wondered if you could mail yourself and you. I only realized this just the other day that I left out any toilet. So you'd have to wear an adult diaper the whole trip. We have issues with crime, home invasion, whatever. I thought there could be an entire line of furniture dedicated to that issue. So there's a drawer you climb into. No one would know you were there at the house. Or a bed you're underneath, actually. In the future, elderly people will be in a higher proportion in the population, so we'll have malls for seniors only. Postponing a decision is one of the things that I like to do. My wife would agree with me, but it's sort of an active process I follow. Most of the time, people think of different ideas. These little chunks of things are actually thoughts represented by things. Let's say I find something that interests me, that little flamey thing. So then this is typically, you amplify it, you narrow in on it, you find various versions of it. This is me thinking different objects and mixing and matching them. I can do this all day. It might even be a mental weakness, I don't know. But combining things is a lot of fun for me. So normally you have a jumble of ideas if you're practicing this far out thinking, lateral thinking. I try to visualize almost like a pressure cooker, that keeping them from narrowing is important for me. Keeping them out in that phase as long as possible. So I've thought up some future products, and I'll have to go through them a little faster. All the ones where I failed, I'm not showing. I thought of camera helmets way back in 1991. Again, mixing and matching, thinking of kind of tapping into what's the world, the thinking. Unfortunately, it's a sad one to show. I thought up the possibility of back-to-school armor and bulletproof clothing way back in 1991. Now the product is out there with that. I was asked at one time to think up ways for an Apple Newton, the big old thing, and I thought of some glasses. Now we have Google Glass. The glasses, the image was projected on the inside of the glass. Just a few weeks ago, a product, 3D imaging product, 3D printing, I'm sorry, came out where it brushes your teeth in 6 seconds. I had a very similar idea years ago. I thought it was a really stupid idea. But I try to do my thinking mostly in the morning, but also I invented a drafting board so I could sketch ideas while I drove. Sorry. So, so inventing without a purpose, obviously I had a purpose, which was humor, but also sharing the idea that in the mode of creativity, try to stay there as long as possible, and if possible, learn the habit of not always focusing just on narrow ideas, but keep all the ideas out there. Thank you very much.